G'day humans, Chris Stead from Finder here. We're talking NFT games and today the topic is Townstar. Now this is a farming simulator slash management game from Gala Games and it offers a full-blooded free-to-play experience, and then you can take the leap and jump over to a play-to-earn experience by buying NFTs through it too. Now look, I started playing this game and I got to admit I got a little bit addicted to it pretty quickly, so it's a pretty fun experience here. Let's dive in, take a look at what I really liked about Townstar and what I didn't like in my review. Let's start by talking about the developer, Gala Games. Now this mob's been around since about early 2019 and they built the Gala platform, and on that you can get the Gala token, Now this was founded by a bloke called Eric Schiermeier, I hope I pronounced that correctly. And now this dude is most famous probably for being the co-founder of Zynga, the famous social game, mobile game developer. Now you might know these guys from Words from Friends, or more pointedly when we look at the fact this is a farming simulator, this is the guy behind Farmville, the big Facebook game that you might remember from over a decade ago. So these guys have some serious runs on the board already and the pedigree to deliver and deploy successful games in new spaces. So that's a big tick in my box. On top of Townstar as well, they've got a heap of other projects in the works, and some from reasonably big IPs like they've got working on a Walking Dead NFT game. They've also partnered up with Peter Molyneux on his game Legacy, and they've got a whole bunch of other really exciting looking titles coming along. So as a developer, Gala Games really has my attention, and I think should have the attention of anyone who's into the NFT game space. Townstar is played through a browser, so the system requirements are really pretty much minimum as you can get and anyone can play it. Now the game offers a pretty robust free-to-play experience, as I said. You start off by just choosing a plot of land, and there's pros and cons. There's a big world map and you can get it's basically broken into grids of squares, and you can choose your square, and you want to there's a bit of a payoff to being close to the cities or close to transport like waterways. Versus being out further away from these things but having richer resources and richer farmland and stuff like that. So there's a bit of a payoff there. And when you begin, you've really got next to nothing really. You've got a couple of little basic dirt roads, a farmer, maybe, and a couple of buildings, things like that. The idea is to create a sustainable business. So you start off by growing some crops, watering those crops with your farmer, harvesting them, getting about 10 of those harvested crops together, sending them off on a truck to the big city. Someone buys them, gives you back some coin, you reinvest that back into your little town or your little farm. You get the lumberjack will go get wood, harvest wood, you use the wood to build more buildings, you can build more farmhouses, which gets you more farmers. Those farmers can then, you can plant more crops and harvest more crops quicker, and you can kind of see the loop there, right? So that's the kind of basic idea, but then it quickly deepens from there, as you might expect. Soon enough, you've got multiple staff you try and deal with. You're paying their wages as well. You've got multiple crops you're trying to find water for. You're trying to clear more space so you can build more buildings. You're going to upgrade your buildings. You've got to get more storage things. You've got to upgrade the roads from dirt to tarmac so farmers can move quicker about. You've got to deal with all the demands of the staff as well, but you've also got to deal with moving to livestock, and it requires a whole different other buildings and other different infrastructure. So you quite quickly get sucked in really deep into this gameplay experience, and you haven't even invested any money at this point. You're just playing for free and playing for fun. But the thing is, you've got to be quite quick at getting into a sustainable business, because you start the game with a small pool of money, which is enough to kind of get you going, but you also start with a limited access to fuel. Now, depending on how far away your plot of land is from where you're going to be delivering your products or your produce, you need more fuel to send the truck there and back, right? So once that fuel runs out, you can no longer send the truck off, which means you can no longer bring in an income. So that's kind of like your timer, I guess, is you've got to get your business functioning well before you run out of fuel, so you have enough money to build the oil refinery and harvest the resources required to create your own fuel. So there you can kind of see the little pressure, and up to that moment it's kind of trial and error gaming, right? So you're experimenting, you're mucking around, you fail, you succeed at certain things, you fail at certain things. That's still plenty of fun. It's not fun to fail. It's fun to just kind of work it out and see how it's going. It's not an easy game. There's a bit of a challenge there in getting to sustainable business, that's for sure. And what I really liked was how the, logic played into it, and how the game kind of deepened with things like, shadows of clouds rolling over the top of the field would reduce your crop growth time, increase your growth crop time. If you planted crops next to tall buildings, that would cast a shadow, also affect the crop building times. Once you start building kind of industry, you've got to deal with pollution. So there's all these checks and balances through the gameplay, which are really smart and probably talk to the co-founder of Gala Games' history with the Farmville experience and the Farmville gameplay he's already done before. But ultimately and critically here, it's just a really well thought out and well built game. And you're just competing against yourself, you're competing against the algorithm, the system, the AI, and how you can manipulate it and defeat it. So I had a heck of a lot of fun with the actual gameplay in this game, and even if I would just turn it on for an hour or two, I found myself playing for 3-4 hours, so that's a good sign in any gamer's book. When you start looking at Townstar from a play to earn perspective, this is where things start to get a little bit shaky and murky. So in order for you to earn anything from your playing experience in Townstar, not that you need to, you can just play for fun, but if you want to actually earn something, you have to place an NFT into the world. So you have to own an NFT and then place that NFT into the world in order to earn any of the town coin, which is the in-game token that sits along the Gala token, which is the broader platform token that you use here. Now, in order to get the NFTs, you've got to go hunt them down on the store or through other users who already own them. I've seen these range in price from about $200 or $300 for the very bottom rarity, like the 6 rarities, you know, for the very entry level stuff, you're looking at about that. And then you're looking at tens of thousands of dollars for the high end stuff. So it ups up quite quickly. Now, some of these NFTs are cosmetics. They're, you know, just like things you can place in the world so that the world just looks cool to you. There's things that have been tie-ins with, like, where they've done things with other companies to try and tie in other products. Things like that are just kind of cosmetic. They don't have a real impact on gameplay. Then they've got stuff that has actual utility within the game. And this could be things like one of the ones that, you know, straight away I looked at and went, oh, that'd be cool, is solar panels. So that allows you to obviously get energy without having to burn or create pollution. You can get storage silos, for example, that allow you to store significant amounts of a certain product, which helps you harvest lots of stuff at once, even when your truck's going back and forth, can only take a few things at a time. So you're not losing produce. So there's a lot of things in the NFT side that actually have utility within the game. And then the rarer that your NFT is that you place in the game, the more the more town coin you can collect at the end of a given day. Now, at the end of that day, you still have to complete your daily challenges. So not just having an NFT in the world actually gives you any sort of money. You actually have to also complete the daily challenges, which are things like harvesting a certain amount of a particular type of produce, for example, or it could be earning a specific amount of stars, which you do by delivering your produce during a certain amount of days. So not just having the NFT in the world, you also need to do daily challenges to then be able to claim your town coin token. Now, on top of that, you can only place one NFT token in the game per one Gala power you have. So Gala power goes up in integers of 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, so forth. And in order to raise your level of Gala power, you need to be holding in your wallet town coin or Gala token. So you need to have invested into the ecosystem in some way, holding that coin, that'll give you Gala power, and then you can place an NFT for every single Gala power you have. So if you've got 2 Gala power, you can put 2 NFTs in, 3 Gala power, 3 NFTs, you get the idea, right? So this is kind of a lot more convoluted than what we're used to seeing in play-to-earn games. And you can kind of see the exponential business like model here. So basically the more town coin you get on a daily basis, the more town coins in your wallet, the higher your Gala power goes, the more NFTs you can place, the more town coin you can get. So it kind of loops and circles on itself. So the play to earn experience of this game should kind of go a bit like that, if you know what I mean. Now, Gala Games is looking at other methods of potentially upping your Gala power. For example, referring people to the game or holding an NFT, things like that will help your Gala power in the future. I suspect maybe they'll start tying in potentially playing other Gala game products or games that they're publishing as well, might help your overall Gala power. But you know, it's not going to help renters or scholars too much and guilds. and their access to the game. So at the moment they don't have access to the game because there's no rental market. Now, Gala Games has declared that it will be bringing a rental marketplace into the game mid-2022, possibly Q3, something like that. So it is coming. And the way that they're setting it up, from what they're saying at the moment, is it won't be offering a fee option where you pay an upfront fee so that you can then rent the NFT. It'll just be done solely on profit share. And the profit shares are really healthy. It's like 50-50, 70-30, 60-40, I think. They're the three options that they're looking at. So that's really healthy actually for a scholar. And from what I could tell, if you're, and like obviously the economy changes every single day, but from what I can tell, if you've got one of the lower ranked NFTs and you're playing that into the game and completing all your daily challenges for the day, you should hopefully get around $24 a day. So if you're a scholar and you're getting half of that, that's pretty promising compared to what we're seeing with other games. But the higher end NFTs are pulling in $200 or $300 a day. So that side of things actually looks pretty good if you can actually get your hands on an NFT. But as I said, at the moment, there is no rental market. The other thing they're looking though bringing in, I don't like at all, and that's the idea of a season pass. So before you're even allowed to play an NFT into the Townstar game, you have to buy a season pass, which I assume is going to be similar to what we see in Fortnite. So how many times does this developer want to dip? So it's dipping in, you've got to have Gala token in your wallet to have Gala power so that you can then place the NFT that you've already paid potentially thousands of dollars for into the game. Then you've got to do the daily challenges to actually, play the game. To actually claim the daily reward. And then on top of that, they want you to pay for a season pass for the right to even do any of that. That's gone a little too far in my book. But what if they have to basically deliver something pretty strong with that season pass? So when you look at, say Fortnite, yes, you got to pay, I think it's about 14 or 15 bucks a month here in Australia, a season here in Australia to get access to the cosmetics, the battle pass stuff, right? But you still get this huge new world, all the map changes, all the gun changes, all that stuff. You don't even have to pay for any of that. That all comes for free. And then you get this whole new range of cosmetics and bling and things like that you get for your season pass. So what are these guys going to give you for your season pass other than the right to place NFTs you've already purchased? So that's a huge question for me. Really muddies the water. So what we have here is a developer in Gala Games which is a real presence on the NFT gaming space and are going to be even bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes on. However, the way that they're approaching the NFT game play to earn side isn't nearly as good as the way they're approaching the actual free-to-play fun experience of the gameplay. So while I completely and utterly love the fact that they've got a gameplay first perspective, and all developers should, but the fact that these guys actually did it with Townstar, like, it is a great game first and foremost. The way that they're integrating the NFT games and the NFT side of it and the play to earn side of it, question marks, big question marks for me. The good news is all of these things can be fixed, all these things can be molded and changed over time. So the fact that Townstar has that foundation in place means that anything could happen. And in particular, there's no multiplayer in this game as yet, yet there's quite a wide opportunity for multiplayer. I mean, when I first looked at the world map and I looked at all of the other people's farms that were already in place on this big giant map, I was like, I want to go see some of their farms. So you can't actually click on anyone else's farms at the moment and just go check it out, see what they've done for inspiration or even just to socialize or anything like that. So that's a missed opportunity. And also, you can't sell off your produce or what you're producing on your land to any other player. You can only sell it off to the AI, basically, the city. The truck just drives off and then comes back with your cash. You don't know where it goes. So that doesn't allow you to kind of specialize within this world. You can't become like this humongous water farm that's just selling heaps of water off to your neighbors. So I think there's some potential MMO style opportunities with Townstar. I'd love to see them explore in the future. So we'll have to wait and see there. So should you turn on Townstar and give it a go? Absolutely. It's so much fun. It is actually a really, really fun, free to play farming simulator, which you'll lose yourself in, get a little frustrated, fail, and just want to jump back in and try again. So I totally recommend giving it a go. In terms of being a play to earn experience for NFT owners, like I said, it's a little bit iffy and it's a little bit hard to see where it's actually going to work effectively moving forward. Maybe when the rental market comes in, my whole entire opinion about that will change. Definitely Gala Games have to be very, very careful. I think that they make sure that they don't unbalance the free-to-play experience by over-prioritizing NFTs that have utility. Because that's going to create kind of a play-to-win style feeling about it. Even though it's PvE, you're still going to feel like you're going to have, you can just, if they make it too challenging for you to get somewhere in the free-to-play experience without going and buying an NFT which gives you solar power or storage that you need or something like that, that's when the game's going to fall off the hinges for me. So I really hope that they watch that and don't stuff it up, basically. Anyway, I'm Chris Stead from Farmville. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe so I can do more of these videos, and until next time, no worries, see you later.